Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go, let's go. Ow, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. Let's go, let's go. Oh, let's start this show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, crew. What up? What up? What up? It is December 2nd. It is 6:34 a.m. here on the East Coast, and I'm so glad you are here with me today. We are going to break some things down. I'm going to talk to you about the Shanquella Robinson case. Specifically, was Daejhanae Jackson arrested? Did we miss the memo? Did some of us not get that? A few of us, that's been watching this, did we not see where it was a listing that Daejhanae Jackson was arrested under these charges, being sent here for this and for that? Did we see that? I don't think we saw any of that yet. So we're going to talk about that. But shout out to the crew. Shout out to the members and the moderators. What up, y'all? Good morning. I hope y'all have had a great week. I hope you get to enjoy your weekend. And I'm glad you're here starting it and kicking it off with me. Everything I say today, of course, is going to be allegedly. And I do want you to do your own research. I really, really want you to do that. But I hope you find some nuggets in today's conversation. And I also want to say, please hit that like button. Don't think I ain't forget. I know it's 10 of y'all in here right now, so I should have like 10 likes. Please don't forget to hit that like button for me and show me some love and support. All likes matter. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and turn on that notification bell so you'll know when the next video drops. And if you want to send me some love, you can always feel free to do so at $Roman L. Jackson. Every cash app, every love note, everything matters and it counts here. So I thank you. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to get right into it. Sit back. Let me do what I do best, which is try to break some of this stuff down for you in a nice, coherent manner. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What up? What up, crew? Good morning to y'all. Thank y'all for being here. It's Friday. It's early too. I said I'm gonna do me a 6:30 this week, if not for anything. But I'm here, and I specifically wanted to talk about Shanquella Robinson today. This live will be focused solely on where we are in this case and what we've been seeing going on. And I want to shout out again to all the content creators everyone who did their part in talking about this story, whether it was for clout, for views, to start your channel, whatever. I commend you because it was Black Twitter, it was Black YouTube, it was all of us who really brought this to the forefront. So I commend everyone. I want to start off by saying that I'm not no hater, I'm not no nothing for all of the interviews and all those great things. It's been amazing to watch and get everyone's perspective. Now, here's where I have to be King Roman and say what I have to say. It's one thing for us to do our reporting and to try to just break a story and be out here just trying to just get to the bottom of something. But it's another thing when we cause more damage to the story, when we actually do more harm to the story, when we present facts that aren't really facts. Because not only are we watching each other, but guess who else is watching this? The family, the mothers, the fathers of everybody in this case, the victim, her family. You got the suspects and their family watching this. And so you got to be really, really careful. And you always got to put the allegedly on it. And then make sure you're able to confirm your own things. It was, say, a couple stories where there's like, this person has been arrested or that person has been arrested. And it's like, okay, so typically if I find out someone's been arrested, I'm going to probably look to see if there's an arrest record, maybe a court order. Maybe we can see if there was a police presence. There's apps where it can tell you where police are, police scanners, all kinds of things, but we really haven't seen any of that. Not saying that it isn't, not saying that there wasn't an arrest, not saying that there isn't going to be an arrest, but I think we need to take a step back to look at everything we have in front of us so we can understand how we're moving. Because when I saw everything come out, I kind of felt comfortable at where I left you all at, which was a warrant for an arrest has been made. Here's how that works. Here's what it looks like. And everybody, then instantly we saw an arrest warrant and then an arrest made. Oh my God. And it's like, yeah, but it's still in the process. So we're going to talk about that process. I'm going to break that down. Again, I just don't want to come from a place of told you so or no, because I don't even know if I'm right or wrong. I'm just putting facts out here the way that I see them, and I just want everybody to take it from there. So this all sort of, before I begin, let me good morning to the crew. Good morning, y'all. And here's the membership link. I forgot last time, and I made sure I woke my ass up and got my membership link. Good morning, Fates. Shout out to Fates Shot, y'all. Good morning. Hey, Kimberly Black. Let's go. Let's go. 3 heartbeats. Good morning. And happy Friday to you, too. Good morning, Tamika. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. Good morning, Ox City 805 Queen. You up at it early today. So am I. It's 3:35 a.m. in Vegas. Baby, I was all under the cover at 3:35 a.m. Yes, I'm glad to see you, though. I'm glad to see you. Good morning, Nadine Frederick. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I've gotten disgustivated. I got mad because I was looking on Twitter and this girl was posting about, Daejhanae had been arrested. Now they're coming after the other ones, and she listed like Khalil Cook, he's next. And so I'm just reading the comments because people were like me, and they're in the comments saying, "Oh, how do you know?" or what? And she's like, "Well, it's because that's next if you following the case." And I'm sitting here like, "Oh my God, girl!" She had a blue check mark, and she is a journalist. And yeah, and I think I may have liked one of her tweets. So if you want to see who I'm talking about, you can go on and see my King Roman news. And no shade to her at all, but honey, I'll be watching you too. Um, but I always like to verify for myself. So we're gonna do some verification today. Listening from the clouds. Okay, Risa, it's good to see you as always, Risa. Good morning, Mama Chapman. Good morning, chat. Struggling to get out of this bed for work. Listen, you wasn't the only one. Okay, nothing a good shower won't do. Happy Friday to the news, Roman. You actually do the work. Investigational journalism at its finest. Trust. I watch all things crime. And guess what? The Shanquella Robinson story made it to the True Crime Podcast. I don't know if you all follow that, but I watch True Crime Podcast on my Apple iTunes, and I follow the stories on the YouTube format because they talk about them first on the podcast, and then they do a video from that same podcast. They turn that literal podcast into one of those episodes on YouTube. And so I watch both, and sometimes it helps me break down stories, and I learn how they break down stories from the initial to where we ended. So when I saw it on True Crime, I said, "Oh my God, it made it here," which made me even want to follow it more and look into what they were saying. And you watch how those journalists are very careful in not alleging something, jumping out here. And that's what makes a YouTuber different, a credible YouTuber different than someone who's just looking to get on. Like, you can wait. Like, you could wait. So shout out to True Crime Podcast. Check it out. I shared it on my community wall. I'm back to sharing. I'm feeling a lot better. A lot better. Harley Q. That's a Harley Q slang. Okay. Okay. Shout out to Harley Q. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Gerald. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Jay Parrish. Good morning. DKL. Good morning. DK, I've been so sick. I've been out of it. I've been out of it. Okay, while getting hash browns together. Oh, no. The question is, are you making them or are Ken making them? Talking about getting hash browns together. You know, Ken is in that kitchen. Ken be cooking up. Yeah, it's me tweeting. By the way, I'm up getting my ready for myself for work. Oh, it's grind time. Oh, you ain't playing. All right, y'all. Let's get into this. So this all literally started because now I can't lie either, because I was someone who followed this source as well. I followed them when the story first broke and they wrote about it because it's a magazine, editorial online magazine based in Mexico, and they get a lot of the sources firsthand. So we really, we saw it and we're like, okay, cool, what's the scoop? And so they put this out, breaking news: Daejhanae Jackson arrested in the United States. And they went on to say in this story, during the night of November 28th, Daejhanae Jackson was arrested by Interpol agents after a control judge issued an arrest warrant against her for the crime of femicide, which was murder on October 29th. Now, they go on to allege Daejhanae Jackson was placed in federal custody, waiting for her to begin her extradition process to Mexico, where she will be formally accused of the femicide of the 25-year-old businesswoman. So that sort of was like, oh God, we took that. Now she's arrested and she's in federal custody. We got nothing, zero words from the FBI. We got nothing from the family. We got nothing from a listing on an Interpol or an arrest record anywhere. There was nothing. Typically, when you're arrested and you're detained, there is a written record. I don't care who you is. Every celebrity that we want to look up and find out if they're arrested, they're arrested. We can get that the next day. How you think people know so quickly? So this would have not been any different. The only difference would have been that if no arrest was made, the extradition in that judicial phase is still being investigated. But we're gonna talk about it. We just gonna work, or we're gonna work our way down. So now it made me want to go back and say, okay, what the fuck did Mexico put in this arrest warrant for them to be pushing this and for us to be at this standstill? What is in this arrest warrant? So here's the arrest warrant. In the arrest warrant, they first go on to say in the statement of the arrest warrant, this case is fully clarified. We even have a court order. There is an arrest warrant issued for the crime of femicide to the detriment of the victim and against an alleged perpetrator, a friend of her who is the direct aggressor. Actually, it wasn't a quarrel, but instead a direct aggression. Now, from here, there's several key things. One, this case is fully clarified. By who? Two, there is an arrest warrant issued for the crime of femicide. How? Where are the facts? Three, against an alleged perpetrator, a friend of her who is the direct aggressor. It wasn't a quarrel, but instead a direct aggression. How? How do we know it wasn't a quarrel, but instead direct aggression? Direct aggression would directly support femicide. You directly was aggressive to this individual because she was female. How do we know that to be true? How does the United States accept an extradition request, and these are the things on it that they have to then go to a court and say, well, they said it, yes, we can go ahead and move forward? How do we know that? Even I had looked at this and was like, wow, that's really big. So they continue by saying, we are carrying out all the pertinent procedures, such as the Interpol alert and the request for the extradition to the United States of America. It's about two Americans, the victim and the culprit. Now, you got to understand some things. So they're issuing this arrest warrant with this language. Here's where we are in America. At this same time, here's the facts. Fact one, We know that she was in with a group of friends on October 28th in Cabo, Mexico. We know they rented a private villa. We know she talked to her mother. We knew she died the next day. Fact two, we knew that her death was captured on video and the video went viral. And her friends originally said she died from alcohol poisoning, and it wasn't that at all. It came out to be something else. Fact three, apparently somebody told somebody that there's another video of Winter Donovan that should be also looked at because she also dealt the fatal blow. These are just facts that have come out. I'm not saying they're true or not. These are just facts of the case that have come out. Fact four was that her death certificate reportedly shows that she died 15 minutes after her injuries. According to the Charlotte Observer, police reports show that a doctor cared for Robinson a few hours before she died, and paramedics attempted to resuscitate her. That's the fourth fact. These are tangible facts that we know based off of video. Nothing else we have put together. News agencies, us as well. FBI hasn't said nothing. So now I'm laying this out for a reason. And here's the last final fact I wanted to put out here. The family hired an attorney to help them find answers. There's a whole lot of unanswered questions in my mind about her death. I just want justice for my daughter. She was my only child. Now, you have this arrest warrant. If we read it again, this case is fully clarified. We even have a court order. There is an arrest warrant issued for the crime of femicide to the detriment of the victim, a friend of her who is the direct aggressor. It wasn't a quarrel, but instead a direct aggression. Now, when we look at the facts that I just shared with you, and these were quick grab facts, I just found like, okay, yeah, we know these to be true. Does any of those facts support this fucking extradition request and arrest warrant issued by Mexico? Do I need to show it again? These are just facts, statements. We are carrying out all the pertinent procedures, such as the Interpol alert and request for extradition to the United States of America. It's about 2 Americans, the victim and the culprit. Authorities have not identified who they are working to arrest, and the warrant has not been released at this time. So we don't get a name, we don't get anything, but we know that there's an alleged perpetrator who was a direct aggressor, resulting in this femicide. And then we start talking about the facts. There's a group. Okay, so that changes things. There's a group involved. No matter what you see, what happened, there's a group involved. 2, there was a viral video leaked, and there were other people in that video. 3, there's allegedly, because I don't believe this anymore, that there's a video out of Winter Donovan. So all of these facts don't really substantiate that, but let's continue. So then October 28th, Shanquella Robinson passes away. On November 14th, actually November 18th, the FBI launches an investigation. Now, remember I told you, this can go one of 2 ways. Either the Mexico authorities can issue an extradition request, and then the FBI can begin their investigation, or the FBI can begin investigating it as a complaint. Well, if they issued an arrest warrant on February, what was it, 28th, 24th, the FBI began investigating on the 18th. The FBI had already began investigating this case. They got a call from the mother, and they began looking into it. Here's where we break down with the FBI. So the FBI launched their investigation into Shanquella Robinson's death, right? They began their investigation after the video circulated on social media, which appeared to show another woman beating her. FBI says that Robinson's death occurred on or about October 29th in Cabo. Now, you have Mexico investigating, you have social media investigating, and now you got the FBI investigating, all separately. There's nobody touching anyone yet. This hasn't been, no extradition request has come to the FBI yet. So you mean to tell me, in this process, the FBI hasn't either uncovered additional information that goes beyond the extradition request that they submitted? You mean to tell me that the FBI agrees that this is a femicide? I want y'all to catch where I'm going with this. So now let's talk about FBI investigation. What's a federal investigation? All right. The goal is to determine whether a federal crime has been committed, the parties are responsible, and the evidence pertaining to the crime is legit. Did you get what I said? The FBI launches their investigation to determine A, if a crime has been committed. Well, we know there a crime has been committed. B, the parties responsible. Now that's the question we have to ask. Was there other people there fighting? You have to really ask that, because the last thing they'll do is have Daejhanae in court telling a whole nother story. And now the U.S. is on hold for this big national case because of something Mexico authorities said. Oh, we got to get into it. And then the last thing is the evidence pertaining to the crime. Do you think Mexico has all the evidence pertaining to the crime submitted for their extradition request? Absolutely not. And that's why I said we got to take it a step back before we even talk about was Daejhanae Jackson arrested or not. Because if you take a step back, you'll already know that answer as we're walking through this. So here are the resources available to the FBI when they are investigating: wiretapping, performing physical surveillance, monitoring the suspect's online activity, recording consensually monitored conversations, reviewing financial documents, issuing grand jury subpoenas, executing search warrants, conducting witness interviews and proffer sessions. So these are all the tools at their disposal that some could be going on right now that we don't know about, which they could be gathering further intelligence. But what I do know is here are the phases of the FBI. So they'll be in an assessment phase. They'll be in a foreign agency request phase. But here's the phase I think they're in. I think they're in their preliminary investigation phase. This can last up to 6 months. And they're collecting information on or of an allegation about a national security threat or a possible criminal activity before a full investigation. Now, the full investigation is an articulable factual basis of a possible national security threat or criminal activity hasn't occurred. And that can go on forever, and there's no time limit on that. And so you have the FBI launching their own separate investigation. They're in their phases of this. In the middle of that, you get this extradition request from Mexico that says, here's what we have. It's fully clear. We have it fully clarified. Okay, what do you have clarified? It's femicide. There's one perpetrator. It wasn't a quarrel. It was direct aggression. I'm sure someone had to stop and say, okay, we have to go through this and we have to actually look through this and make sure it's the truth. If you see, and I put together another chart, is if you notice that during this extradition request, the country has to request Daejhanae Jackson. The U.S. Embassy in Washington, D.C. receives this request and forwards it to the State Department. The State Department identifies if any potential foreign policy problems, if there's any issues of the crime, if they are even extraditable, if they have supporting documents. That's what the State Department does. Then they forward it to the Justice Department, who then reviews it again to make sure it's sufficient, who then forwards it to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the actual warrant. So again, they launched their investigation on November 14th. We hear an arrest warrant went out, or an extradition request went out on November 28th. It's December 2nd, and we think someone's been arrested and is in custody right now. It's just not that simple. It don't go that easy. So let's talk about the Interpol Red Notice. So they put out this whole Interpol Red Notice. Do you know what a Interpol Red Notice is? Interpol Red Notice is basically letting countries know that this person, we're serving an extradition request to have them come back to us. If you see them, contact the local law enforcement agencies so they can arrest them and they can be held. That's all that is. There's no Interpol law enforcement agency who's going to come into the United States and arrest an American citizen. It just don't work like that. First of all, they're not police officers. And secondly, they would have to refer to the U.S. Department of Justice first before any of that can go on. So not there. Then we took it one step further, and I looked on Interpol Search's website, and you'll notice when you search who has an alert on them, there's no Daejhanae Jackson. There's nothing even for Shanquella Robinson. There's no notice there. Now, mind you, they can choose not to list a person if there's a special privacy condition. but there's no notice there at all either that I saw, at least. And so when you go back to this arrest warrant and you see the language in there, this case is fully clarified. We even have a court order. There's an arrest warrant issued for the crime of femicide to the detriment of the victim and against an alleged perpetrator. Actually, it wasn't a quarrel, but instead of direct aggression. All of that has to be verified. And I'm sure during this verification process, the FBI is also investigating it or not too. Do I think Daejhanae Jackson is definitely a suspect? Yes. Do I think she has been arrested? No. One or two things. One, if they arrest her incorrectly without following up and making sure all of the information is valid, she has something called the habeas corpus that she can plead. And that merely says that the U.S. did not follow their own protocol in the treaty regarding her extradition request. And it throws the entire thing away. So they're not going to risk that at all either. Now, I want to play this video clip for you all because just as I just shared with you all is the same thing that another credible source is saying. And I just wanted to make sure that y'all getting it straight from the goat's mouth. So check this out.
As Shanquella Robinson's family continues to search for answers in the death of their daughter, some are claiming a suspect has been arrested in the case. The 25-year-old Charlotte woman mysteriously died while on vacation with a group of friends in Mexico. They've issued an arrest warrant for one of the people on the trip, but some articles are saying that person has been arrested. Wake Up Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifying these claims.
Yeah, and this is the article that has been circulating on social media. It claims that there has been an arrest in the Shanquella Robinson case, but we wanted to walk you through the article because there are some red flags here. When someone reports and shares claims that are not verified, this is how misinformation spreads. First, the headline suggests Daejhanae Jackson was arrested in the United States. As of now, Mexican authorities have not publicly even named a suspect. They have issued arrest warrants, but haven't said who the warrants are for. Then the article goes on to say Jackson was arrested by Interpol agents. So what is Interpol? According to the U.S. Justice Department, Interpol is an international police organization which provides investigative support and secure communication between law enforcement authorities. However, the Justice Department says Interpol does not have its own law enforcement agents. The article also states the arrest was made on November 28th. However, it does not give a time. It doesn't reveal exactly where Jackson was supposedly arrested or where she was booked. In the United States, when someone is arrested, they are usually booked into a detention facility, and that information is generally public and available for reporters to refer to in their stories. We also spoke with Shanquella Robinson's father. He tells us he has not been made aware of an arrest yet. The FBI also tells us this is an active and ongoing investigation. So we want to remind you to double check what you see online and on social media. Of course, if and when an arrest is made and we can confirm it, we will send you an alert through our WCNC mobile app. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
And there you have it in a nutshell. And that's exactly what I wanted to share with you all, is that just as viral and trendy as this story is, everybody wants to cover it. Everybody wants to say that and get that. But you got to make sure you confirm stuff like a person has been arrested in a case or confirm certain facts. It bothered me so much to see people, even black people, because it was white people. It was all across the board. Seeing people say that Interpol police arrested this girl. Just having basic knowledge of U.S. policies and the law, you would know that you Google something right now, crew. Google, has the Interpol ever arrested an American citizen on U.S. soil? How, Sway? How? I had to stop watching. Some people, I'm like, I can't even watch this no more. Like, you don't even sound like you, because that's a simple search. Like, oh, was she arrested? Interpol police arrested her. First thing I did was, oh, okay, who's the Interpol police agency? Who funds y'all? Who gets in your pockets? And that's when you're able to uncover It doesn't work like that. They're literally an agency, like the UN Humanitarian Council. They're literally a fucking agency, and they can put sanctions, they can do all this stuff, but they cannot arrest. Do you know the power? You can't detain a citizen. We have a relationship with each other that says, if my country over here says to this country over here, and we're all part of this Interpol Council, we're all going to get together and say, yes, it's agreed. Send it on. And then there's a 30-day approval period where the Interpol has to approve these red notices and these alerts. Like that warrant, the arrest warrant said, you all, they issued this stuff. We are carrying out all pertinent procedures such as the Interpol alert and the request for extradition. There is an Interpol alert procedure. It requires a council to agree unanimously on this for it to be listed and for all countries to accept this. You think Mexico, first of all, bottom of the barrel. I ain't even calling Mexico bottom of the barrel, but as far as, do you think Mexico has the wherewithal to say today, Interpol, arrest warrant issue for this person, put it out there? You don't think no other country would have leaked the name, who received it? I'd be damned if it's out the Interpol's hands yet, into the countries yet. This stuff doesn't move that quick. It really doesn't. Even think about your own legal issues you get in. It don't move that fast. And we're dealing with multiple countries with different laws. And I told y'all that femicide thing is not going to go away. I told y'all, I said that before. That's the next phase of this. But because we can't get there, because we already think there's an arrest warrant for femicide, how? You have to define what that means. And then the United States will then say, your definition of femicide does not meet our standards based on this treaty of what we'll extradite people for. So you need to go back and do some homework and research. Was it really femicide? And I'm sure the FBI is doing their due diligence in investigating whether it is or not on the same side. Now, I'm not saying arrest won't come for Daejhanae, and I'm not saying they're not certainly looking at her. But what I'm saying is, certainly in the time that we've been given and looking at the dates and stuff, it don't seem like it's going to be happening on a drop of a dime anytime soon like that. No, not at all. And if it does happen, trust me, we'll see the listing. We'll know. It'll be a mugshot. It'll be some information out there captured. But I'm sure they want to gather all their facts, make sure that all the people who are complicit players are also contacted, are also a part of this. She wasn't the only culprit. Yeah, we saw her do that, but she wasn't the only person. If you ask me, Khalil also needs to be held accountable. So that's sort of how I looked at this. And I'm like, hey, y'all. Hey, oh, McDonald's, I'm at work. Good morning, Kings Mina. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Zaire. Good morning, Voodoo. Hey, y'all. What up? Good morning, Tracy. Tristan. Good morning, Marty. Good morning, Come Pillow Talk with Bay. Thank you, Tristan. Thank you. Good morning, Risa. It didn't make sense. I've always thought Interpol was an international agency, but did not have a police force. They just share criminal database across countries, participating with the agency. Exactly. That's it. That's it, and that's all. That's it, and that's all, y'all. And it's gonna be it's difficult to walk back and then come back out and say, okay, now she really did get arrested. But I'd rather wait for someone else to actually credibly say that this girl has been arrested before I come out here and share that kind of information. And for me, it's more important for us to know the process. Because see, if we know the process, we know the steps involved, the time it takes, we'll understand if something comes. The biggest telling thing to me was the father sharing with the WCNC in Charlotte that FBI didn't tell him anything. They haven't shared any of that. They have been talking with them, but the one thing they have not shared was arrests being made, anybody being talked to, or anything like that. And I think that would be important. That would be something they would share with them. We have made an arrest in this case. I see it all the time on shows. We have made an arrest. They've reached out. What would be the reason in holding it a secret at this point? So I don't know. Good morning, BB Nice. I'm glad to catch you live. I missed you guys. I missed you too. I missed, I made sure I was gonna wake up at 6:30 and get here this morning. But that's what I wanted to share, you all. I'm gonna put this link down here if anybody wanted to come up, say a few words, drops, any information, or challenge what I'm saying. If you think that she was arrested, and hit the link and we can have a conversation about it. I got some time. We got a good we got a good 30 minutes. So hit the link if you got anything to say. Other than that, that's literally how I left off. Now, here are some questions that I felt like the FBI is trying to answer right now. One, what is the crime of femicide? How did y'all define that? What led you to believe that this was the direct result of direct aggression towards because she was a female? What was it? Because that will back us into their evidence. Was it a conversation? What conversation? Was it video footage you saw of them hanging out the night before? Can we see the video footage? Second question I said was, can you prove she was the direct aggressor? Can you prove that Daejhanae Jackson initiated this and became the direct aggressor throughout the entire assault on Daejhanae Jackson? Now, mind you, this is the same people who accepted alcohol poisoning. So now I'm how can you prove that? Is that a factual, actual, factual? These are questions that the FBI will have to face and have to answer, because if not, that girl's extradition defense attorney will lodge these questions her way. They will. Another question is, can you define fully clarified? You said this case is fully clarified. Well, how was it started? If the case is fully clarified, right? How was it started? How was this case? How from initial form of aggression to escalation to physical violence to death? How? What's your timeline looking like, sir? What do they el hombre, homie, homo? I don't know. And who was all involved? We see on the camera multiple people in the room. Do you all deem them involved? Do you all think that they are part of this too? Or are you just saying her because that's what you saw? Who was all involved? And this is another question I feel like the FBI is looking to answer. Who was all involved? It wasn't just her. And be damned, you arrest just her. And come to find out years later, she wasn't even the direct aggressor. It was someone else. That girl has a whole nother case on her hands. So that's another question. And my last one was the manner in which the death was caused. Fully clarified? Because remember, we went from alcohol poisoning to autopsy report. Then we found out 15 minutes, she died 15 minutes after her injuries, to the doctors were sitting there waiting with her for 2 hours trying to resuscitate her. Can you clarify how she died? And I'm sure, again, part of that FBI investigation, they're going to be looking at this stuff, which requires all of those resources I told you that they have at their disposal. All of these resources, all of them, once they begin, and I didn't know that. That was something I learned. Did you know that once the FBI launches an investigation, they have to get it approved, right? Remember in the phases that the FBI goes to. So first it comes in as an assessment. Somebody's saying, hey, this happened. I need y'all to do something. They go through all of this. They have, at that point, I'm thinking they need to get a court to make them go further. No, the court only comes into play when now you're trying to wiretap a suspect, you're trying to arrest a suspect. No, they have all resources available to them in the form of an investigation. Do you think they are not answering these questions during the investigation? Do you think the FBI isn't sitting back looking at this extradition request that they received from Mexico like, is this the whole story? Damn. Y'all sure? Because I'd be damned if you arrest this girl on these charges and she goes over there for them and there's a big, they've released her and it comes out that that's not even the case in their investigation here in the United States. So all of those questions came to my mind. Do I believe there's an arrest? No. Do I believe Daejhanae Jackson is a part of the people who need to be arrested? Yes, I do. Absolutely. And a part of that is we don't know what the exact charges are going to be. But they've issued an arrest warrant for femicide, the direct aggression of femicide. That's not nowhere relatable in the treaty. Remember, they have to operate off of what they signed for in the treaty, like drugs, like homicide and murder. There is no femicide in our treaty of us extraditing criminals for certain activities. It definitely doesn't say femicide. That's why I kept saying they're going to have to break that down. I know we see femicide. We don't have that in America. You hit a woman, male or female, you're going to fucking jail. Direct aggression or not. You could have just been walking past and she fell. She has the right to call the police. And we don't handle it differently than anything else. Now, if it's a hate crime, it's a hate crime. But it's not handled any lesser or any harder. And, folks saying 25 years in a Mexico prison. Yeah, but you can get a lot worse here for the death of someone versus just femicide alone. So again, y'all, there's still a lot of things, and I definitely think that this is sitting in the judicial phase. I showed you all this earlier, and I actually put this together myself. The requested country has requested Daejhanae Jackson with evidence of crimes committed and possible legal proceedings. They submit it to the embassy in Washington, D.C. They'll receive it. The embassy in D.C., they receive it. Okay, we got this request. Boom, wop, bam. They move it on to the Department of State. This is where I think we are sitting right now. This is where King Roman News thinks the FBI and everyone with this extradition request is sitting on this process right here with the Department of State. They're identifying any potential foreign policy problems and to ensure that there is a treaty enforced between the United States and the country making the request, that the crime or crimes are extraditable offenses, and that the supporting documents are properly certified in accordance with law. That's where I think we are. There are so many loopholes and I'm looking at this like there's no fucking way the United States is going to let that ride. Now, whether they send it back and said, y'all, we got to talk, whether they're having discussions, we won't know. Of course, they already fucked up. The State Department initially accepted their claim. Remember, they accepted them. We accepted this. We have no reason for foul play. Now, the State Department is getting an extradition request, meaning they have to go back on their word. You don't think this is sitting at the State Department for an investigation? Once they feel like it's at a point where they can extradite, then they'll move it on to the Justice Department Office of Internal Affairs. They'll then look at it and say, is this sufficient enough to move forward for us to even get a warrant for an arrest? And by that point, it should be. And the U.S. Attorney's Office will issue a warrant, and the fugitive will be brought in, and they'll go to a U.S. district judge where the extradition request will be there, and they'll be allowed one opportunity, and it's not an appeal. It literally is an habeas corpus where they can say that we're not appealing what you're charging me for because you got to go to Mexico for that. We're appealing that the United States didn't follow the process of the treaty and its own laws. And for that, I'm appealing that. And you get the right extradition defense attorney who look at how I'm looking at this shit. Oh, yeah, they'll find something. That girl will be sent back. That's why they have to carry things this way. That's why it's no automatic arrest. First of all, I'm going to be real with y'all. I ain't trying to be funny. Mexico ain't got it like that. It ain't even about whether they got it like that. Everything Mexico is going to submit has to be doubly, thoroughly checked. We're not dealing with someone who we don't have our own hardships with, is what I'm trying to say. Like Toronto, Canada. We may have some shit with Canada, but it's much easier in Canada than it would be in Mexico. We deal with their drug cartels all the time. We have issues all the time with them. So I'm saying all that to say it's not just that easy at all. And, the individual must argue that his detention and surrender to a foreign country violates the United States Constitution, the applicable extradition treaty, or a federal statute. You tell me. Let me look at my dates again. October 28th, Shanquella found dead. November, it had to be like around November 13th or 14th is when Mexico said they're now looking at this, launching an investigation. November 18th, the FBI came out and said, we're going to launch an investigation too. November 24th, Mexico then says, we figured it out, got it, good, all flags on the play. We're issuing our extradition request and an Interpol alert. And then December, what was it? I don't know, the other day, December, was it even December 11, 28? Oh, November 28th, Daejhanae arrested. How does it work like that? Like, we got to come back a little bit. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Did the United States even review the extradition request? Or did we even answer that question yet? So that's how I'm looking at this right now. The traction of this story is a blessing, but people need to stop with the false claims. Foundational blacks rarely get justice. You can, and some folks, you can't even tell them that. It's like you gotta slow walk it. Look, even for another thing, look at the takeoff situation. You mean to tell me the Houston Police Department and mob ties, given all the information we know and the evidence we know, they have not made an arrest yet, and the only arrest they've made was a bystander at the event per se who had a handgun which violated his parole, and they're using that as a front to secure more information. Hold him. Listen, we'll lessen your violation sentence if you tell us what happened. What did you see? What went on? Did you pull your what? That's what's going on with that, because they know that if they don't have enough, that they'll also be held. So think about that, and then think about something like this. It's the same thing. You have to dot your I's and cross your T's. You really do. Good morning, Alfreda Gross. Good morning. Good morning. The FBI would have made it known that she was arrested, as they or the marshals would be the ones to do it. This case is too known for them to. Risa, okay, this is the other thing. Do you not think that had this girl been arrested, her family members won't talk to people in her family who talk, who talk, who talk, who talk? Let's say she was in a public location. You don't think innocent people, oh my God, they got her. You don't think it would have been out here? We would have been heard that this actually came to fruition. The FBI does not have any reason to be quiet on that at that point, for no reason at all. Once they made an arrest, they went to the court to get an order. They presented all their facts. They know that they believe something to be true. Now it's to take them to court so they can face the justice. We haven't seen that yet. FBI still out here saying we're not saying anything about the case. We don't know anything. They're still only talking to the parents and the parents only. The news folks called the FBI like, hey, did you all hear about an arrest? The FBI said, no, we have not heard about an arrest. That's the only confirmation that we have seen from the FBI regarding an arrest. And none has happened. But it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds hell of a good. Daejhanae Jackson arrested. Shit, I'm looking on Interpol agency. If y'all want to ever search for yourself, here the link, because you can actually search anybody on Interpol, see if they got a red notice out here. I searched myself to see if there were, you never know. Hey, something in my past or in my future could have came up. But you can search right there for Interpol notice, and it gives you a wealth of information about Interpol notices. Nothing there for her. There's not even, and I'll be honest with you, there's no American citizen on the Interpol alert. None. I saw two people. They were dual citizenship, Mexican and American. You take it for however you want to take that. But there's no American listed on their Interpol. You want to know why? You don't even need an Interpol alert. All you need to do is an extradition request, treaty request with the United States, and they're going to arrest them because they're going to do it either or. An Interpol alert is for somebody who flees the United States and goes to a foreign country, Germany. Well, now the person has nothing to do, their case has nothing to do with Germany, but they're over in Germany. And because of this Interpol alert, the authorities in Germany now know that you're wanted here. So we can arrest you and send you back where you need to go. That's what it's for if you flee and go international. But if you're already in your home country, that's an extradition request. They're sending that out because they think she's going to flee to another country. Again, when you have people talking about the case, it's like, the fuck? The Interpol? And it was okay. I like me. I can't say love. I like watching Sherelle's World. I really, really do. But I was very, very shocked when I heard her say the Interpol police arrested Daejhanae Jackson. I was really, really shocked. I was shocked. I was like doing one of these like, girl, for real? Because in my mind, I assume someone on that level does deep research and not just grab an article, read the article literally, and just go from it. So I was shocked about that. And as we see and define things, that's just not. It's just not the way it goes here. If she was in Japan, okay, Interpol agency probably would have local authorities to get her, but they can't go on United States soil or any country's soil and just arrest someone based off an Interpol alert. It's just illegal. We as citizens have rights. Do you think some agency can come arrest me in my house? Hell no. We recognize in our country the authorities in the presences, FBI, the marshals, all of Interpol don't play. Boy, I'll be looking. That's like somebody from your job come into your house to arrest you. How? That's not the way detaining someone works. Um, so good morning, Tanya. Good morning. Maybe the FBI will keep this low until they obtain all six. I'm subject to believe that. I'm subject to believe that the FBI will keep this investigation active and ongoing until the full story has developed. Because I believe Daejhanae is just only one piece of this story, and I think that there's a lot of bigger issues that are now coming to play. One, the fact that Khalil Cook lied to the family when he returned home that it was alcohol poisoning. Now that we know all those other things happened, that begs a question. Why were you lying? What did you feel you need to cover up? Who were you trying to support? Because was it yourself? Was it why, if it was someone else and it got to the point of death, I don't listen, she did, it wasn't, I had nothing to do with it. But as you break it down, you begin to ask the questions. Khalil, why? And Nazir, even he's still out here talking. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking. Again, the resources that the FBI has at their disposal is unlimited. Monitoring the suspect's online activity, performing physical surveillance, recording consensually monitored conversations, having someone wear a wire. Shut the fuck up. Or just keep talking. But I do feel like once the bigger story comes out, that's why I said when Mexico, first of all, when we saw they said it's fully clarified, I know half of us had to be saying, well, damn, how did it start? If it's fully clarified, can you tell us something we don't know? And that will require them having phone records, and we know they don't have access to that. That will require them digging up conversations prior to, we know they don't have access to that. Surveillance footage, we don't have access to that. So how in the hell, I mean, I was excited about the extradition request because I know it began the process. Even my YouTube post was, now the process begins. 4 days later, they're talking about an arrest. Even myself, I had to ask myself, well, bitch, what was you looking at? What was your research like? I watched my video again, like, damn. And then I had to come back to the conclusion, like, what if this girl hasn't been arrested yet and they're still on process? So I think we're still on process, y'all. I really do. I think we're still on process. And I'm only, we have these boring lives and we have these boring conversations, but I'm only doing it because I really want y'all to at least have some of the foundation pieces of these stories. I be hearing lives and watching and shit. I watch them all, but it's good to know a couple of things. One, Interpol cannot do any arrest of any fucking American citizen. I don't give a damn if you shot up a whole family in another country. They can't come over. They can submit an extradition request. They can't come arrest you. No. There needs to be, because when they arrest you, they still need to get you to the next country. Well, you know how you get a U.S. citizen from one country to the other under charges? Extradition. So we still going to fall back on that. So I think, one, we're back at this extradition process, judicial process, where I told you the State Department, I believe, is still looking at this and analyzing whether or not there's a case to move forward. And please, hit that like button. I'm just sitting here babbling. I'll be forgetting to tell you I really do appreciate it. I hope y'all enjoying the commentary. I hope y'all understanding some of this. And if you're not, put questions in the chat. I'll answer questions. I'm not always right, but I just gathered the shit and I just want to present it to you all. So please, see. Good morning, Rochelle. Rochelle. Good morning. Good morning, Janae. Good morning. Good morning. I wonder if they can convict the others not caught on video for murder, or will they be charged with accessory or aiding and abetting for fabricating the alcohol poisoning footage? Oh, I think they'll all be charged. The part, it's almost like when, if you watch these crime shows and stuff, when a mother, a wife has a hitman kill her husband. And I'm sorry if I'm not sexist. I'm just picking a story that I just came to my mind off the top of my head. As much as they get that hitman, they want that motherfucking wife. They want the wife. So because that's motive. And for me, that video is just not enough motive. Yes, it gives us the actual incident that happened that played a huge role in this woman's death. But when you peel back the layers, what was the motive? And if we find out that each person had a specific motive and piece, which is just sufficient as enough as this girl killing her, like if you did not direct her to come in this room knowing that somebody was going to slap her, you're just as guilty as the person who slapped her. You let her in, you're just as guilty in a court of law. I see it all the fucking time. So I think, what I think is that the FBI is looking for motive, and arresting just one cuts down on the rest of them coughing up the motive on each other. When all of them feel like they're held, it's a different thing. But when they feel like one person is being put up, everybody gonna be quiet. It's just Daejhanae. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Keep it on her. And you just got Daejhanae's story versus all of theirs. So at this point, it's best in their best interest to go after every fucking body. Elise, Winter, Nazir, what's all of them? All of them. Everyone needs to be questioned. Everyone needs to feel like they had a part into it. Who was recording? You was recording. You didn't call the police. Why didn't you call the police? Did you feel like what you saw was okay? Why did you feel like it was okay? Did you hear her pleas for help? No, you didn't hear her. You heard them, but you ignored them. Can you define what a plea for help is if you were ever in a situation? So you know what a plea for help is, right? Okay, so when she was giving it and you didn't, do you know that you played a role in her dying? The fact that you were negligent. And then let's not talk about negligent with a corpse, a body. Like there's a whole shitload of motive and charges to go around in this whole thing. And I only got this talking to a friend who's a lawyer. He was yelling at me and I'm like, damn nigga, I'm only, because I went to him like, if they get Daejhanae, and he's like, why you keep saying get Daejhanae? They need to get them all. And I said, damn, okay, break it down. And he was saying, all is where the story is. One is just the narrative. You need the whole entire story, which means holding everybody accountable for some piece of this story. And then to come to find out, and this is allegedly, the whole second video about Winter Donovan striking is allegedly a lie. It was a narrative put out so that it can take the heat off this main video that's out here. Now, the father went out allegedly and said he saw that video, but then he came back and said he never saw a video. And given the fact we've not seen any video footage come out here, we've not heard anything else. And if there was a video footage put out here and Mexico would catch that, I'm pretty sure it would be two other individuals also indicted, which led me to believe that there's no video that has been produced. And I could be wrong, but I have not seen no video. I can't even tell you that. So, yeah, all of these things require time for you to investigate who was involved. Like, I think Khalil needs to have just as much time. You know, absolutely. I think they need to investigate him prior to this, maybe months leading up to this. What were your conversations like? All of that stuff. So I hope y'all see where I'm going with this. I like the combos because I don't want her to be forgotten and it be kept swept under the rug. Exactly. Hey, Miss Margot, good morning. Shout out. Remember, if so, someone is going to tell it. Yes, I feel they can all be charged for homicide due to the fact they did nothing to save her life, which is just as culpable. Motives. Good question. Yep. this will be a victory for us that have a family members who never got justice. Yeah, it really would be in a foreign country. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't just left there and forgot. No, y'all forgot her, but we got her. She back here, and we gonna keep her in remembrance. I'm with you, smoking out the window, getting ready for work. Oh, you crazy. Please hit that like button, y'all. I want Khalil off the fact of sitting in her mama's. That was where my questions begin. So, Khalil, can we begin when you returned that Sunday and you arrived at Miss Robinson's home and you had her luggage with you and her clothes and some stuff in her luggage? Can you just talk to me? What were you thinking? What was going on in your mind? What made you feel like you needed to go? What were you thinking? And that to me begins to break down how much he knew. Like, bro, you knew she died because of X, Y, and Z, but you still came out here because of this, because you knew that if you told them that anything else happened, you would have to tell the rest of the story. Now, what's the rest of the story, Khalil? What were you trying to hide and not talk about? See, he'll get caught up quickly. He'll get caught up quickly. And I'm not even a lawyer, but he'll get caught up quickly. Real good. Good morning, T. Trisha. Good morning. Baby, I want to talk to the father and the mother. I absolutely want to talk to the mother, and I absolutely want to talk to the father, because I think that they should absolutely be requesting. Now we're getting past calling and talking, but requesting that the FBI puts out a press release as soon as possible to help aid in investigating this case. Now, the FBI will come back and say, well, we're not ready for doing all that yet. We still have some unanswered questions. Well, then that begs, what are the unanswered questions? So I think pressure needs to be on the FBI still. Like, there's no reason why Gabby Petito case, the next fucking day, they had a whole press conference about shit we didn't even know. We didn't even know that the girl had rolled past and flagged down a whole nother motorist, and the motorist had looked at her and thought she was in distress. But a whole 24 hours later, they had these motherfuckers on camera saying, yes, we did. Well, how did they find that shit out? And how did y'all leak that shit out? But y'all did that, so we can't get nothing. We can't get y'all, yes, on this date we received an extradition request. We can't get none of that. You ain't got to leak details of the case. You ain't got to tell them, no, but we should get something so we'll know where you all are in this process. Because as you see it, false information going out here is doing nothing but hurting it. You'd be shocked that if you go on YouTube, Daejhanae Jackson arrested, and just look at the videos. It's like, wow, I guess you're going to say this for when she was arrested and then put it back out. But it's like, we're doing more harm than helping. So for us, I think it's best that we wait. Let's just wait. I know we want to apply pressure. The best thing you can do is to talk about the details of what you do know. Talk about the facts of what you do know. You may want to dig up Daejhanae Jackson, what kind of person she was, her history out there, the players. Why aren't we talking about all 6 of them? Y'all keep talking about Shanquella. Let's start talking about Khalil and Nazir and Elise. Let's talk about a motive. Let's speculate on a possible motive. What do y'all think it was? Let's do all of that, but let's not falsely say people were arrested, because again, it not only does damage to us, but it does damage to the family. It does damage to the people who are actually suspects, because it makes them feel, shit, okay, the heat's off of us. No, nigga, the heat's still on you. We still see you for your worth and your shit that you don't got. So that's where I leave it at. But I wanted to make sure it was clear. I wanted to share that with y'all. So really all I had today. I wanted to walk y'all through that. So Interpol, no. Sounds great, but don't apply to us. I think Mexico just uses that as standard language, because they should have known that, it saying that to the United States wouldn't mean shit. But yeah, saying it to another country, it goes a long way. 2, we're still in the process of this extradition request. Now, what we can put out there is that Daejhanae, go fuck up. Girl, go commit a crime. go slap somebody in public. We want her to get arrested. That's what we can hope for. That she go fuck some shit up and she get arrested. Let's hope this bitch has done some fraud, bank fraud, mail fraud that the FBI has uncovered, that they can arrest her on that. You see where I'm going? That's what an FBI investigation does. It'll start uncovering other shit that if we can't get you on this, we can get you on that and hold you like they did Lil Kim Fifth Ward for some information on these other bitches. So let's hope that she out there writing bad checks. Let's hope Nazir out there, shit, I don't know what he looked like he'd do. And let's hope that they get their ass in trouble. That's the only thing we can do. Get in trouble. Get arrested, bitch. Somebody go walk in front of them and fall and say they hit him. Bitch, I would. I'll be right in front of Daejhanae. I knew it was you. I knew it was you. Get that bitch. Because that's the only way we'll get them right now. But if you waiting on the FBI to go arrest her, I will be very shocked. I said this before, if this girl was arrested before the year is up. And I'm holding by to that. I'm holding to that. I will be very shocked. Given the holidays, I know FBI works year round, but given the holidays, y'all, and it's not that I take this case just as serious as the first time I ever talked about it. And I stumbled upon it. I wasn't even trying to talk about it. I'm talking about the other folks who died because of carbon monoxide. And I'm using this situation as an example. And lo and behold, it's a whole thing. But I'll be damned if I come out here and lie or, fuck some shit up. So that's the truth, y'all. I ain't got nothing else to say on it. We're gonna stay tuned. I'm gonna stay tuned. And the next time I do a video on it, it's gonna be either something developed, factual, or there's some new details that we need to talk about that creates more story to the motive. See, that's what I'm focused on. Now I'm about helping them build this motive, because that's what helps the case go further. What's the fucking motive? We're so lazy. We want to talk about who arrests because it's easy. Yeah, but what's the fucking motive? Why did Daejhanae Jackson do what she did? Why was Khalil there, present? Why were anybody recording and asking her to fight back? We don't know that. We don't know any of that. So until we get that information, and shout out to the chat. It is 51 folks in the building. Hey, hit the like button and thank y'all for being here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Miss Ray. Good morning. I don't think she's arrested. Me either. Me either. Let's be honest. I'm putting myself in Daejhanae's shoes. If I was arrested, my auntie would know, my cousin would know, my landlord would know, my dog sitter would know, all these people would know. They would know my name and they would know I'm arrested. Let's say I flee and go be with my family in Florida, like she fled to Connecticut. Do you think I'm gonna be with my mom would know, my brothers would know, my nosy ass family in Florida, big as they are, my grandma, everybody would know. You don't think they would tell and somebody would tell and tell a news reporter like, yeah, he was. I'm his cousin, and yeah, he was arrested. Yeah. You don't think it'd be somebody in my family who going against me, who actually believe I did it, wouldn't say something? Yeah, he did it. So, and how national this is and how heightened this is for her to be arrested and no one says nothing? No, not even, not nothing. Come on. We ain't that easy. That's just like the other day. Somebody put out J-Lo is going to be performing a Whitney Houston tribute at the Grammys. Now, I saw it and I went the fuck off on my own mind. I said, bitch, I'm sick of this shit. Fuck the Grammys. I'm over it. Come to find out it was a whole hoax. Somebody was trying to bash J-Lo. And people ran with it. Stories started reporting. People were reporting on it. You should go on Twitter, type J-Lo Whitney Houston tribute. And I finally was like, oh, phew. After I had to follow, I looked at a lot of different, so I Googled it, nothing popped up, nothing came up. So same thing here. We still got to take that same kind of, you got to do your research. And it requires you knowing the law a little bit and knowing the process. Just because it's to national occasion doesn't mean the process isn't followed. And let me tell you this, at the State Department level, the Secretary of State is also involved. They're also aware of the situation, which means that the VP and the president is aware and also involved. They're briefed on these situations. So that's one thing we can do know is that it's up there. They are aware. Oh yeah, it's there. And given that if it's up there and there was an arrest made, you don't think somebody crazy? I was sick laughing. It's not what Khalil said, it's what he didn't say. Period. Like, do you think it's okay to be in a room and so that's okay to you? Good morning, mister. Good morning. Good morning. They need black political, religious, and entertainment figures on board applying pressure. Period. Thank you, Risa. Thank you. And I mean FBAs. Was it confirmed whether they charged her credit cards? No, it wasn't confirmed. They didn't confirm that. That came from the fact that her credit card was on file at the Cabo Villa for the what are those things called? For the ATVs. Because remember, they had planned to do that already. And what I was reading was you have to have a card on file to rent them and hold them, similar to anything else. And I don't know how flights got wrapped up into it because I even assumed that that was the case too. But it stemmed from having that credit card on file and the ATVs. Now, if the credit card is on file and they did in fact go and enjoy the ATVs, well, that would make sense because her credit card was already on file. Now, we don't know whether she partook in that. We don't know whether it happened. We don't know when this happened. And it was like they got on ATVs to ride to the airport. I should have known that wasn't even plausible. Like they don't have Uber in Mexico Cabo. Okay, Miss Margot, 51 in the chat. I hope that Shanquella spirit haunts them all so they can turn themselves in. It definitely is gonna haunt them as women. Absolutely. When they face their own type of violent issues like that too, that's gonna definitely come to the forefront. And those men, they're gonna get street justice. I always feel like when you do something to people who are considered vulnerable populations, even in the situation, you're gonna get your karma. Kids, adults, older adults, disabled populations, women, vulnerable women, all of those, you're gonna get what's coming to you. Shanquella family would know. They would know. That was another thing. The FBI would absolutely think about the shows that we watch. When they arrest someone, the FBI always in their confessional. And so, I reached out to the family, and I was really nervous because I didn't know what was going to go on. So I told the family that we made the arrest. We actually arrested her, and we have her in custody at this point. We just had to let the family notify the family. Always see that kind of conversation and talk track. So why wouldn't it happen here? At that point, they have done all of their due diligence. There's nothing to hold or hide back. What are you hiding? Something means that there's still something going on. There's an investigation going on. Arrest our public record. And that's what I said. We would have saw that. Whatever jail shooter went to, we would have saw that because that arrest record would have been out here. Deposit on a credit card. Right. It's something like that. Because I know in a hotel, you got to put $250 down on your credit card, whatever the hold is for the night stay. And so who knows I don't know how that worked out. That's why, we need the press conference. We need more information out here, but we need to stick to the facts. Reddit does a good job of following this case. Like I got a lot of my facts today from Reddit. Reddit, Shanquella Robinson. It's a whole listing and it just keeps refreshing and going and going and going and going. I think it's at like mad pages. Lipstick Alley has one too, but it's just so violent over there. Lipstick Alley, they so mad. They cursing folks out. The last one I saw this morning, they was talking about they still carrying on about them reporting was it a trans woman, and they keep retweeting that, going off on it. I'm like, are we gonna let this go? It's a little late, as they always inform the family. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning. Good morning. And the family would be willing to give that interview. So, yeah, y'all, that's where we at. I'm glad I got to break that down on this Good Friday. I hope y'all have a great day. I hope we keep Shanquella's spirit alive. Shout out to everybody reporting on the story. I definitely stay tuned and we'll be watching. Kudos to everyone. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. And next week, we're going to start our weekly holiday giveaways. So each Friday of until the 30th, the end of this month, I'm going to be giving cash prizes away. Just one on each Friday. And the amount is going to double for the next week, and then it'll double for the next week. So we're going to start at 25 next Friday, and then it'll double to 75 the following Friday, and it'll double to 125 the next Friday. And it's going to require you to have been in the lives of that week, because the question is going to come from a key word that I've said in all three of those lives during the week. And so it's just my fun way, just trying to have a give back part of that. And then we're going to do we're just going to do a one-time Vlogmas live where I'm just going to do the whole Vlogmas. And then I'm going to talk about our adopted family. You know, we adopted a family this year. I haven't gotten who we are receiving. I'm excited as hell. But when I get that information, I'm gonna plan out our Vlogmas day where we'll just, have a Christmas fun filled. I want to call it a pajama jam, Christmas jammy jam, maybe in the wee hours of the morning. I just wanted to be with my people. I just wanted to be with y'all, honestly. So maybe one of those hot cocoa and good stuff like that. But I want y'all to be around. So hop in the live, catch the replays. Then on a Friday, it may be. So on Monday, Wednesday, and today, there was one word that I used to define X, Y, and Z. Can you name the word? And if you name the word, you get a Cash App, and we'll move on to the next week. You can win as many times as you can. There's no one winner per. Nope, I'm not doing that. Whoever wins, you win. And then I'm gonna keep an award of probably put together a thumbnail, which is like a winner board of all of, so you'll have the week 1 winner, week 2 winner, week 3 winner. And then we'll move on. We'll continue to do that. So I was trying to figure out my keywords. They're gonna be real spicy. The father did an interview. Yeah, yep, that's the one I just showed. That's the one I just showed. I'm gonna play it one more time. You got Miss Ray. Welcome. You stole the 5, babe. Welcome home, girl. Cause you on it. You on it. That's exactly the interview I played. I saw the same thing. Y'all get into this.
As Shanquella Robinson's family continues to search for answers in the death of their daughter, some are claiming a suspect has been arrested in the case. The 25-year-old Charlotte woman mysteriously died while on vacation with a group of friends in Mexico. They've issued an arrest warrant for one of the people on the trip, but some articles are saying that person has been arrested. Wake Up Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifying these claims.
Yeah, and this is the article that has been circulating on social media. It claims that there has been an arrest in the Shanquella Robinson case, but we wanted to walk you through the article because there are some red flags here. When someone reports and shares claims that are not verified, this is how misinformation spreads. First, the headline suggests Daejhanae Jackson was arrested in the United States. As of now, Mexican authorities have not publicly even named a suspect. They have issued arrest warrants, but haven't said who the warrants are for. Then the article goes on to say Jackson was arrested by Interpol agents. So what is Interpol? According to the U.S. Justice Department, Interpol is an international police organization which provides investigative support and secure communication between law enforcement authorities. However, the Justice Department says Interpol does not have its own law enforcement agents. The article also states the arrest was made on November 28th. However, it does not give a time. It doesn't reveal exactly where Jackson was supposedly arrested or where she was booked. In the United States, when someone is arrested, they are usually booked into a detention facility, and that information is generally public and available for reporters to refer to in their stories. We also spoke with Shanquella Robinson's father. He tells us he has not been made aware of an arrest yet. The FBI also tells us this is an ongoing investigation. So we want to remind you to double check what you see online and on social media. Of course, if and when we can confirm it, we will send you an alert through our WCNC mobile.
With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Baby. So again, like they said, verify. It's a horrible thing to go back on y'all, to want to have to go back on y'all stories. We do it all the time. I had to do it too, but it's important to verify. Alfreda, will have a great weekend. You too. And crew, this live was so good. I smoked my whole blunt. Okay, yes, for the waking and the breathing. Waking and the breathing. Okay, yes, we're gonna play a little something. I'm gonna have my little Santa hat on next week. I'm a festive, we're moving into the holiday season. So I'll be throwing the show will be a little hot, more festive. It's just the start of the month. Good morning, Brick Girls. Good to see you. Teacher show once it's taking forever to do Smew. I at least want a birthday song. Oh, okay. I'm glad. Give me the heads up. I'm gonna do it. Now I'm gonna do it. You got a song request? Do you have a song in mind on Smew? Oh, that'll be good. Hey, Zaire. You too, Zaire. Hey, Zap. Good morning. Good morning, Lady Steph. Yes. Can y'all hit the like button? All 52 of y'all in the chat. Can y'all hit the like button for me, please? Gratitude. Just catching the live. I think you said you're giving away money. Cool. I want to play. I need some Christmas money this year. Yes, Zap. So it's gonna be holiday giveaway, sweepstakes giveaway, or whatever. How I really took the idea from Wendy Williams' show. During her holidays period during her show, she typically do these theme shows and she give away stuff. So I'm gonna be trying to do theme shows like that. Really trying to work on my production and stuff here like that. Make you all visually enjoy and engage what you're seeing. So I'm gonna work on some of those things too. And so I wanted to play a game. I'm gonna be each week over the next 3 weeks. 4 weeks. Yep, the rest of this month. Over the next 4 weeks, we're gonna play a game each week for the 3 shows. So it's gonna be 3 shows each week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, holding myself to it. Yes, sir. I'm gonna say a word each of those shows each week. I'm gonna have a word that I use. And then on Friday, I'm gonna ask if you know the word. Put the word in the chat, and we're gonna have a little countdown. And then we'll select it, and I'm gonna cash app you starting first Friday. It's gonna be 25, and then it's gonna double. 25 to 50. Don't have me do this right now. 100, 200. Yeah, I know 200 is the max. So the last Friday, you will need to know all the last 3 weeks and that current week. Okay? So it's just a way to encourage you to stick around. I definitely drop some nuggets throughout the show. And I might be doing some drawings during the week. Who knows? So yeah, just a way to get back. I really appreciate y'all. I can't wait to play the Cash App games. Not begging though. Oh, it's all giving. This is all about supporting. I'm grateful enough and I'm thankful enough to not for this not to be my sole income. It's just a pleasure to do this. And whatever we do get, we get. And it's been a pleasure. But I do want to play this game. I want to see what you all remember. What are the things you all remember? Anything I want you to sing? Okay. I'm about to work on that. You too, Karen. All right, crew. Now that y'all have the facts about this Shanquella Robinson story, at least some foundational nuggets, go out into the world in your platforms, your devices, and just share the real tea. And you ain't gotta be mean with it, like, bitch, you're lying. But on some, how do you know she's arrested? Well, they said the Interpol arrested her. Do you know if Interpol be an asshole the crew way, just by asking questions. Ask the right questions. That's what I want to leave with y'all, and I feel good about that. If I feel good about that. and I'll be back again. I think I'll be live in the morning because there's some other topics I want to talk to y'all about. That virtual headset situation where the boy killed his mother. My God, I actually went and looked at it this morning. I was like, am I going to add that to this or just do a separate show? I'm going to do a separate show. I'm going to add that to it. We're going to talk about a couple of other things. Nia, she's speaking about Ime and how the team's decision to release the information. And are we over? How do we feel? I need a temperature check. Where Dovey at? Are we still very sad and supportive of Nia, or can I be for real? Because at this point, what the fuck you mad for them leaking? Girl, go off, sound off. She's like, she has a family. At the end of the day, you do too. And your son, apparently, and according to you, he was just as much as hurt. So I didn't feel no shame about them. I was the one trying to uncover and leak out who is she. You bold enough to do this shit. It's bold enough to get to the point where now it's uncomfortable for you. Well, everybody need to be out here. So I wanted to touch on Nia. I was very shocked about that. Like, girl, let that shit go. And then some other local news stories. Oh my God, yeah, that was something else. That VR headset. I mean, girl, you already know I saw that. It's the season for giving. It is the season to be cheery and jolly, play some good music, Coco. I don't know if I'm putting up a tree. I don't know if I'm doing all of that, y'all. I don't know if it's a Christmas tree year for me, but I might hang up like his ornaments out there. But I don't know. I might, put something over my, some lights back here or some shit. But I don't know if I'm putting up a tree. I just don't want to go through all the work putting it up, having to rearrange my place, find other spots for furniture. I'm not there at all. Nope. Fuck around and be in the middle of the floor. Be in the hallway when you first enter my place. Oh, it's right outside, out in the hallway. But yeah, feeling much better. I'm so glad I'm feeling much better. It's just allowing me to come back full force. So, all right, crew. I appreciate y'all as I always do. Be a blessing to someone today. It's all about giving. It's the season of giving. And I will check y'all out. I might come live a little later. Y'all want to have a kick it session? Y'all want to have some crew time or something? Because I can come back live tonight. I have no plans to be going out or doing nothing like that. Last night I should have stayed in the house, y'all. But my friend wanted to go see the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. So we walked over there. You want to know how cold it was? It was like 29, 30 degrees last night. Who's just getting over something? Me. I know better. I just got chills thinking about it. So, yeah, I should have sat my ass down. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But, yeah, I might come back a little later. You too, Daejhanae. Have a good day. Everybody have a good day. Y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed. And I will check on y'all. Tomorrow or tonight. You never know. Tomorrow or tonight. Deuces.
Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
let's go, let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman news gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman news.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman news. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman news, coming just for you. King Roman news, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman news, King Roman news. Let's go, let's go.